All right. Well, let's get to it. We need to talk about London. We need to talk about the England football team. In our terms, the United States would be called soccer. Pretty Patel. Between her, she is a government official for London. Uh, then you have three football players: Marcus Rashford, Jaden Shenko, and Biako Saka. Here's what happened. Pretty Patel accused the England national team of, quote, gesture politics, end quote. But then came out and said she is, quoted, disgusted, end quote, by online racist abusers directed at the three players I mentioned. I'm going to mention them again. Mings England, Marcus Rashford, Jaden Shenko, and Biaka Saka became upon as targets on social media. However, they missed the penalties in the 3-2 shootout Euro 2020 final defeat to Italy on Sunday at Wembley Stadium. When Patel accused them of, quote, gesture politics, end quote, it was because they took a knee. Now, mind you, they did this before each of the Euro 2020 games. Patel said, quote, fans have a right to boo them. That's a choice on them, quite frankly, end quote. Lawmakers, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, including Patel, had a chance to condemn these England fans that booed players that took the knee before kickoff. You want to hear some surprising news? They didn't. They didn't. So why do you think that these players are kneeling? This exact reason. Kneeling to bring awareness. What does this sound like to you? I'll give you a hint. It's related to the word persecution. You look up the word persecution, you have the word. Ming said via tweet, quote, that she can't have it both ways. You don't get to stoke the fire at the beginning of a tournament by labeling anti-racism message as gesture politics and then pretend to be disgusted when the very thing we're campaigning against happened. That came from Marcus Rashford via Twitter. Patel and the Home Office declined to comment on Ming's post. However, they referred to the tweet Patel put out about condemning racist abuse directed at them. Unfortunately, failed leadership from UK Prime Minister didn't condemn booing fans. Over the course of his career, Rashford had received at least 70 racial slurs when he was just 23 years old, following Manchester United's Europa League final defeat to Villarreal. But you should never apologize for who you are. So regardless to how people feel about you, you should never apologize for who you are. Absolutely. I was after the Italy defeat. Now this is the thing that gets me. After the Italy defeat, a mural honoring Rashford was vandalized with graffiti in the northwest city of Manchester. The mural commemorated the Manchester United players' work to tackle food poverty. Was this a mural defaced because of his missed shot? Because fans are just mad at him? Who does this affect? You as fans? Stop. The only thing fans do is support. So as soon as something doesn't go their way, they throw a tantrum. It affects Rashford, especially his mental health. So remind me, are we great again yet? Are we great again yet? Are we solving problems? Are we really sitting down and solving problems? Many people supported Rashford after the facing of his mural happened. He does good for the community, and that's what happens when a human makes mistakes that have nothing to do with food poverty. Are we great again? Are we great again yet? What do it take? Where do we draw the line? You can only imagine how this feels on Rashford. You can only imagine how it feels. Quote, he says, on the verge of tears. Is that what you call great? Is that what you call greatness? Defacing a mural greatness? Greatness is not defined that way. As a result of this happening, this is an example of starting to be a part of greatness. A potential for racial abuse and changes to the way companies police their platforms are happening. And this is on their change.org website. Are we great again yet? Are we great again yet? I'm going to sure as hell say we're not. Bill, what's your thought?
We're still growing into a big problem in racism, including here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And we can be so far ahead on actually trying to bring awareness, but we're so far behind.
Oh yeah.
Because people are so stuck into their minds to believe that anybody can just say anything that they want to say and think they can just get away with it. And it's just total pure disrespect, and it affects people's mental health. And that's not good for a lot of people that actually wants to see change. A lot of people want to see change. And this is the type of change that our ancestors that actually believe that disrespect and racism don't exist and all of that stuff. But people that show that the Confederate flag is part of heritage, as long as they're still around, we're never going to actually see the change the way that we want to see the change. We're going to have change, but it's not going to be the way that we would like to see this change. And that's a big issue. It's a big issue.
Let me explain something. That's a good point. But let me explain something. I explained this on Saturday's podcast, and I have the feel the need to do it again, but only on my terms. Doing Saturday's podcast was based on a script. Today, it's based on me. Today is not on the script. So let me explain it this way. And it has everything to do with sports, but it's going to also involve not only sports, but in personal lives and in politics and people just having random conversations. I keep seeing people saying that CRT, critical racial theory, shouldn't be taught in schools. Or I would see that Black athletes shouldn't be protesting on the stand at the Olympics. So I sit here and I think about it. And I said it on the podcast. If we stop doing what we're doing by protesting, shit gonna go right back to what it was back in the 50s, back in the 60s, almost back into segregation. Now, you already see it with voting rights. You see all these voter suppression bills being passed out in more than 20 states. But we're supposed to stop protesting. We're supposed to stop protesting at the Olympics or while we're in sports. We're supposed to stop protesting? No, that's what our ancestors worked hard for. You know the hell that they went through all because they went to protest of civil rights, women's rights, all this stuff, the reconstruction of everything that Black people went through just to get equal rights. Everything that our ancestors went through, they passed the baton to us. We do not stop protesting just because y'all conservatives think that we hate America. No. It's because we need to continue to bring awareness to everybody that don't believe that most Black people are oppressed. Sure, you and I, Joe, can do just about anything we want to, but not everybody has that. Not everybody has that. So before you sit down and say, oh, if you don't like America because you protest to get out, think about the reason why we're doing it. It's sure as hell ain't because of your freaking theory. No, It's because we have to continue to bring awareness. We took the baton to continue, which is why we are able to vote the way we do today. But if we just sat down and not let nothing happen, what do you think is going to happen? We'll go right back to Jim Crow Law 2.0, which has already passed in more than 20 states.
Yep. Yep. That's a good point. And to bring more to your point, the thing is, what I sense is that I've always believed that racism is taught. You said it. Everybody that believes in that racism is real, they believe it. They believe that.
Yeah.
And it starts with the parents. It starts with the parents on how racism is taught. It's either that you treat them as equally or you don't. We need those people. We need those parents that can teach their kids that people are treated equally. This could simmer down a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If they're being taught that way. But then you got people that hangs the Confederate flag, tells them a bunch of bullshit, talking about, hey, this is part of our heritage. It's not part of a heritage.
No.
Believe that. It's not part of a heritage. It brings hate. It promotes hate. It unlocks hate everywhere you go. You're not going to go to Canada and not see a Confederate flag. You're not going to go to London and not see a Confederate flag. They're global. It's a hate thing. It's a hate. It's not a United States thing. It's globally. It's globally. NASCAR fans were always the ones that brought those damn Confederate flags so into this, loving it. And now they want to have a hissy fit. Just like I always said, always has a hissy fit when something don't go their way. This is too many problems in one. Yeah, they throw temper tantrums. They think that they're 9 years old, having a fit, thinking they're going to have their way. This is what we're dealing with as people being conservatives. We are dealing with big issues. We're dealing with big issues. Because they're not going to look at you right now saying that you was a white man.
Right.
Say you was a white man, I'm black, okay? You could be that guy to go and still treat others with respect. You could be that white guy to express that racism is real. You could be that guy and you can actually say, hey, we have a problem in this country. We have this problem globally. As a white guy, you could be that Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, the people in the military. You could be those people. But you know what? We don't have enough of those.
No, we
don't have enough of them.
Nowhere near it.
We don't have enough. Nowhere to actually sit down and teach this stuff. And they do need to teach racism in school. I feel that they do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Because if they can teach history, if they can teach history, why the hell can they not just teach racism? People has been trying to bring Black history into schools for years, and it's been turned down every single time. And with what's going on in this world, racism is real. It's real.
That's part of it. That is part of it right there. Not bringing Black history into schools. That's a big one right there. That's part of racism right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you mention the Confederate flag, that's exactly the reason why I had to leave a NASCAR group. I had to leave a NASCAR group because if you're not, and this is towards Christians. If you believe that there is no type of oppression, then you're questioning the values of the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what you're doing. You're questioning. I'm going to question rather if you are actually following the Bible or not. Because oppression is written all in the Bible. I got series of oppression on the blog and on my podcast. I got them. They're there. They are there. And I'm going to tell you, with the NASCAR group that I was in, that group wanted to keep it positive, wanted to keep it encouraging. Congratulations. But you have a thing in the Bible that you are a pastor, that you're supposed to be talking about this. Not avoiding it, but you're supposed to be talking about it. I left the group.
Where's the real leaders? Where's the real leaders?
Where are the real leaders at? Give me a real leader.
If you don't know shit about it, learn it. Learn it.
There you go. That's how I feel.
The same shit with London. The same shit as London. It's the same shit that they're going through here in the U.S. Nothing different.
Nothing different.
They just speak a different language.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.